Okay, I'm here with my new RC crawler set, and I'm making this for my crawlers, which I'm buying, so that I'll have quite nice set of these cars, and people can just rent this out, this set what I'm building here, and the cars, so they don't have to worry about anything. And as you can see, you know, it goes in pieces, so I can put this in my car and then get it delivered wherever it needs to be delivered. So now I'm going to do a little clip of why I actually have found this material quite pleasing to work with. I am going to put some concrete strips on this. I have made part of this set already beforehand, and basically what I did then was that it was quite small. But now that I have these kind of bigger cars and everything, I just want to make it so that it looks more like a scale. And I had problems with my bigger cars to getting hang of the edges and everything because it was so narrow. But also I think it's more cool to have higher level of things, and then you can drive through. And this is something what I had from previous set also, and I just removed the skull, T-Rex skull. You know, even if this is 1/24 scale, I made the skull a little bit bigger because I just wanted to a little bit exaggerate it. And then I also made a tunnel, but I didn't really like it beforehand, so now I made a little something to go underneath that, so that I can get it also a little bit higher up. And I'm having also a piece coming at there too. There's gonna be one house there, like the cottage where the main character is living. There's gonna be kind of a bridge here, and there's gonna be a hut here, and probably one hut also at here. I was thinking of the laboratory kind of small hut on top of the hill, just in sake of humor. And this is going to be not kind of a bridge, but there's going to be kind of so that there's like a crane system. It's not really a crane what I've been designing, but I'll see how that will look the best. And I really like these new cars for this, because this is supposed to be Daredevil's layers, Daredevil's home, like several years ago. And I like this kind of old-fashioned stuff. And I also have Unimog. And what I'm planning also to do inside of this, and I have marked it already at there, so that when I'll have this there, I'll be able to just do it. So I can just remove this, and then yeah, I'll also remove the cars. But there's gonna be like a claw of the T-Rex. It's going to be also a little bit exaggerated because I want the car to be able to drive it so that there's something to crawl over. And there's going to be a ramp so that you can drive on top of this through the ramp. And then there's going to be some boulders inside of that cave. And of course I will make sure that this is going to be like the gatekeeper for this course. It is the hardest incline. So I'm going to make it so that it is possible to do even with this one. I can do it already with my Rushmore, which is 1/18 scale. But, you know, I would really like to have something that you really need to kind of practice a little bit, and it will take time to make it work, but it will work in the end. You will now see why I really like to work with this material. And I hope that this will be turning out good when I'll slap some concrete fabrics on this, and then I'll do some painting. This is actually what I've been working with for several months now, and this is my track of how it's looking at the moment. I've been basically using foam, like plastic foam, and it's quite easy to just cut it with your knives, or I've also been using, well, this has been most efficient tool for shaping this material, and I should be probably using something for my breath or something like that, so that I wouldn't be smelling that gas. But I have seen so many videos, I have been watching many videos of how I could do something on top of this. And I have bought myself this kind of a concrete, and I'm thinking of using this because it's not the cheapest one, but I'll just try that. And there has been so many videos. Well, actually, I have just seen one video where they used these kind of micro towels, so that you could just put this in the water, and then it expands, and then you can just dip it in the concrete and then put a layer on top of this. And this is how it looks when it is completely dried, because I tried these yesterday, how it felt. And this is microfiber towel. And then I'm also, in Finnish it's hallaharso, but it's like my fiber fabric. And it's lighter. It is still quite strong. It's not as strong, but you can rip this. But in Finland, it's quite difficult to buy these. So I had to order these from AliExpress, and it cost me like one bag, like 50 is €5. So it's not much, but I'll have to order them from somewhere. This is something that I can just drive in the shop and buy this. So I'm going to try this, because I have never used this material before. So I'm just gonna use it to this, something that I just made quickly. I'll put some concrete, and on the other half I'm going to put this fabric like here, and I'll see how it goes into those gaps and things. As you can see, there is just gap like this. Also, I want to see how it holds and works. And then I'll use this cheaper material, which costs like €2, and you will get several meters of this material. Like the expense I can get for €2, and this cost me like €30 to buy, and then I had to wait. Well, actually it came quite quickly, so I didn't have to wait that long. But this is something that I'm looking forward to try, because I have all of this what I will have to cover. Good thing about this is that I've made it so that I can put this in pieces, and then I can dismantle it before I'll put it in my car. So that's something what I've been very working hard, and I still have some details left what I will be doing whilst I wait for this to dry. And I will probably show you how I'm doing those things, because now I have my camera here. So this was quite a long introduction. I'll do, because you've probably seen some of those videos already, I'll just do kind of time lapse of putting some of the concrete here, because I'm planning just to do little bits of the time. So I will see how much I'll need that concrete for this amount of, let's say I would like to do just one piece like this, how much I would have to use concrete for that. Because once you have started to baking it, like it says, you can't add water in it or anything else. You know, it starts to harden, and you're not supposed to add anything to it while it does. So you will just have to use all that there is, and then you will make some more. So this is also something that I do for myself, because this is something what I have not done before. I have done papier mâché and stuff like that, but I'm really interested to see how this material will transform into something very different. So let's get on it. I'll just do a time lapse, and then we will talk after that. Well, I suppose that my cement is not the same as with so many others. Here's my results, and yeah, it is still a little bit wet, but I have been already driving it today, and it seems that because my cement kind of has this fine sand in it, I do have, for one, good thing what I would have to say about this is that I have texture here on this, but I don't like the look of it, and it's not as strong as I would have loved it would be. Like, it is strong, but it is not as strong as I would have loved it to be. I suppose I would have to do several more layers. But I like the sand on top of this. So there's the positive note on this. And yeah, it's also quite slippery in the way. I did put some sprayed glue on top of this, but I think that I'll have some sort of base layer on top of this. I'm gonna paint base layer, which is gonna give me some more of that gluing effect, and I can properly put this fabric underneath that paint. What is going to be bad about the paint is that it's going to be paint, and it is probably going to peel at some point. And also, yeah, it might also be quite slippery, who knows. But I'm still going to go with this example that I did yesterday. I showed you the clip. Yeah, you can see that the paper is quite just one layer of this textile fabric. It is going to give you some more of it gives you nice things like look and everything, but just one layer of this with this cement what I have, it is not that strong. So if I have a little bit more of that cement on top of this, then it's fine. Like if I have left some cement on top of this paper, this towel, then it's fine. It's quite a lot of like texture also. If you would like to have that kind of texture, like that's probably up to you. I don't know. I would say that for some places that would be completely fine, but for some places I'm not so sure. But I'm going to do with this same technique all of these things. It's going to be a long night for me. I'm not going to film much more of that because you basically saw it already in that interval shot clip. For the skull, what I have here, I was thinking of this today, but you know, for this skull, was right here, which is very nice detail, by the way. Children seem to notice it immediately, of course, and they notice that it's a dinosaur. So that's all that I wanted. But I'm probably just gonna put, well, maybe I'll just make sure that there's not much of the textile, visible textile, but I will probably just put paint on top of this. I tried to paint this with the spray paint, and this is what I'm going to be going for with those two. And I have noticed that it's not melting, this material, and it seems to stick. So I think I'm just gonna paint that skull so that it will be differently textured than just the soil itself. So that will give me something extra. I don't bother doing the same with these kind of logs what I have here, because if I will have more of the paper, more of this textile on top of it, it will be good. And that cheap material I was talking about earlier, this one, transparent one, it doesn't fit in this workflow at all. It looks bad. It doesn't really get any of that concrete in it, and it's just thin paper. Thin fabric, which it also is. But because of how it is, I would say that this coin towel is superior. I'm not 100% happy with the coin towel, but it's much better than this. And I think that especially when some of that fabric is left exposed, so it's not covered with anything, it can take a little bit more kind of grinding from tires than this material. So yeah, it was an experiment, fun experiment, but the result is I'm not gonna use this even if it is cheaper. It would save me quite a bit of money, but I'll be putting a lot of different base layers and stuff on top of this. Maybe some acrylic paints also, some spray paints. It is gonna cost me quite a bit of money anyway, so saving 20 euros, I don't know if it's worth it. So yeah, good experiment, did not work. All right, I'll need to get back to work. I want to go sleeping this tonight more early. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, let's go, let's go. Yeah, the best part of creating and building these tracks is actually the driving, and you need to do a lot of this driving in order to know where this car will fail and not fail, so that you can home them up for the audience who is using your track. Oh, and by the way, if you have enjoyed this building process and you want to see more of this kind of videos of making of and then thinking of it and how it has been built, how it's going to be developed, and also a lot of driving and stuff like that, please do consider subscribing and like this video if you haven't already, and maybe even share it to your friend, because this will greatly help me to create things like this for you in the future. And I have learned quite a bit of things whilst driving these little beasts, and some techniques, like I haven't done any upgrades to my cars, for example. I might do something in the future, but I haven't, because I've just wanted to create these track pieces so that I can drive them with my cars as they have been built. Oh, I shouldn't have be talking and driving at the same time. But yeah, there are some kind of rules what needs to be done in order to make a track where you can actually drive the car up. I have different levels of tracks, and if it wouldn't be possible with all of my cars as stock cars, I don't think that people would appreciate it so much. So they want to have the feeling of success, and so do I. So please do subscribe if you haven't already, and you can unsubscribe at any moment if you wish to do so. Now that I have made this set and some other things, now the videos will be coming more often, and I will be buying some of these cars, and I have got some of the stories to tell you in the future. Let's get back into the video. But here is one of the pieces which I still have not painted with anything, and it's like, I'm not overly hyped about how it looks, and it's not as strong as someone has suggested that it would be, so it kind of was a little bit of let down for me to have this, but I think this could be nice base, but it's still quite soft, fabric-y kind, and there's a lot of sand, like loose sand on it, and I'll show you some close-up material on close-up shots with this. But I have a couple of options what I will be doing. I did actually put this out there and did drive this track out there with other people, my clients, and they loved it. Well, not everyone has been overly excited about it, but I would say, for example, some of these parts which are actually hard, they are great. The fabric kind of feeling is not that good, and I'm making this Daredevil because it's basically the Daredevil's pit what I'm having at here, and I have still got some of the base paint layering to be done, but I just wanted to see actually before I would do that how what I've created so far is actually holding up, and what needs to be done in order to get it really like working properly. And I have just used the primer paints, and you can see the color right there. I love it. It gives me that kind of feeling what I wanted for this kind of sacred or abandoned place. And then I also use just the gray primer. And primer basically means that I can paint it with almost anything after putting the primer on it. So what I'm gonna do next with this is actually I'm going to start to do some of those details that I want, and I made this for the small truck, but now I'll need to make this, for example, this bridge a little bit wider so that also other cars will be able to do it, because a lot of customers wanted to see a car going on top of this. And the small one was not functioning at all times, and also, yeah, they wanted to see something driving on top of this, and they didn't really care of my ideas of just the small one will be able to do this. They were like, yeah, that's good, but it's like you could see it from their face. So I'm gonna do this one a little bit wider. Then I'm gonna start to glue these things which are a little bit, as you can see here, they are a little bit loose, and all kinds of things like this. So I'll need to really attach those with glue and some wire and things like that, because I am probably gonna do, and also I'll need to put some more defined forms on this, and also something that when I'm driving with the car, it won't be slipping so easily. So I'm happy of how this track really works now, but I just need to make it more functional. And I also need to do a lot more of details in this work in order for people to, so when they come and go like, oh, it's nice set, what do you have here? And then they go like, oh, it's like, nah. Yeah, it's okay. Like, oh, it must be something wild and okay. Yeah, it's like canyon, or oh, there's a dinosaur skull, and they probably see that or not. So first they look at it from distance and it looks good, but when they come closer and take a closer, deeper look, for those people who are not going to drive on this track anyway, they're just gonna look at those things and then they just will leave. And I want to fix that, so that there will be some small details which will keep them busy for a while. And I also have some other things in my mind how I can make my boot work better. But these things only happens with other people. I can think and imagine how people will probably react, and some of that has been true so far, but a lot of that has been not true also. And it's like, you can see, you can feel it, but you can't do that without an actual interaction with people. And that's why I have been exposing myself on that marketplace right there. So street art is the most demanding art form and also basically when you're selling your stuff on the out there, that is basically also street art, street interaction. You want to get people closer, you want to interact with them, talk with them, make them laugh, make them excited, and then they will buy something from you. And that's the oldest thing in the whole world. So, you know, that's something what I am now developing like fully. But those things you will see in the next episode. I will show you this when I have done my like fixed things, and then I have put some ground paint and also some of those details what I'm going to be building more in the future. And you can look at my Instagram and TikTok, where I will be posting like almost daily something. And then I hope that I will see you in the next one.